Hello guys, what we are about to do here is to unlock the settings of our exposure triangle that we have learned so far to configure them using our Blackmagic camera so that you can know how to implement these settings on your camera. So this is Blackmagic camera. I'm trying to disorganize the settings so that we can start from beginning to set them up. We are going to practicalize these exposure settings, and I charge you after now to practicalize it too, so that these settings will get used, so that you will get used to these settings. So this is the Blackmagic camera which I have disorganized. I'll start first with the frame rate which we have learned. The frame rate here is on 30 frames per second. It's unfortunate that Blackmagic Cam only has from 23 frame rates per second to 30 frame rates per second. Well, you don't have to bother other ones. They don't have 60, 120. But I'm going to use what they have here to practicalize this exposure triangle. So I'm going to leave it at the default setting, which is 30. I'm going to leave it at 30. And as you have learned so far, the shutter speed, the digit of the shutter speed should be twice of the frame rate. So as we have our frame rate per second as 30, the shutter speed should come back to 60, 1/60. Yeah, this is now 1/60. I've gotten the frame rate. This iris here is the aperture. It's unfortunate that Blackmagic Cam doesn't allow us to get control over the aperture, but you don't have to bother about that. Once I place this camera before me and start filming, this aperture will automatically adjust to sit in the scene. So you don't have to bother about the aperture, which is already here automatically. Then the other one is the ISO, which you have learned. It is the digital lightness to our screen. The lower the aperture, the lower the ISO, the darker the scene. Meanwhile, when you increase it so high, the scene becomes too white, and we begin to notice some digital noise in the scene. As this scene is now, this scene is not sharp. It's not pleasing to the eyes. So we're going to take the ISO as down as possible, as low as possible. I'm going to leave it here as 300. I encourage you, while setting your ISO, it should be between 160 to 500. Let it not be more than 500. If not, you begin to notice a lot of noise in it. Then we're going to leave it here as 120 ISO. Then after the ISO, we'll now talk about the white balance. The white balance is what you can see here, which is after ISO WB. When I click on the white balance here, you can see the white balance here is 2500 Kelvin temperature, which is too low. But if you take it very high, the temperature becomes so high and it's not good to the eyes. So the standard temperature is between 5,000 thereabouts. I'm going to take it down to 5,000. But Blackmagic Cam has some configured settings here under the white balance. You can see this is for high temperature, very sunny, room temperature. You can see where I'm clicking, right? This one is very low. The temperature here is blue, which is not pleasing to the eyes. And as we are told, if you want to know how the white balance is, you should get a white sheet of paper, as you can see here. Put it before the camera and know if this is exactly how it should look before the naked eye. If it's not that way, then you have to keep adjusting your white balance until it suits in. Then this one is for the daylight. Like, as at the time I'm shooting this scene, this clip, it is 5:38, so it is still daylight. And I believe that this paper looks cleaner than how it was before. This is 5,600 Kelvin temperature, which is far, far better than it being very high or it being very low. So I'm taking it back to 5,600 Kelvin temperature. That's been done. I think our scene looks better in the eyes. So I charge you to pick up your phone and practicalize this thing. Yeah, one other thing which I didn't mention here is the resolution. You can see 4K resolution here. Oh no, Blackmagic has made it so stagnant that you cannot change it. They made it so permanent. So the resolution here is 4K resolution. And I believe with this scene, which you can see here, you can shoot any clip in this room and the video will be sharp. So this is all about camera setup. When the ISO is very high, you add more noise to it and definitely it becomes more white. When you take it down very much, it becomes so low. The place becomes dark. So leave it at a room temperature. The shutter speed you have learned, it should be twice the frame rate. When you take it very far, it becomes too dark. When you take it very low, it becomes too white. So leave it twice of the frame rate. So pick up your phone, pick up your camera and try to practicalize this thing and let me see what you have done. Apart from that, thank you so much. See you in the next